Welcome to WagerTalk TV. It's NFL Conference Championship time. I'm Scott with Tony Finn, also with Matthew Holt of VP of CGT Sportsbooks here in Las Vegas. The NFL Conference Championships are set, guys. Not the most exciting wild card round. A little bit more excitement last week when we got to the divisional round. But over in the AFC this week, we got the Patriots who are laying 6 to Pittsburgh at CGT Books. The total's 51. Matt, you guys opened New England 5.5, so up a little bit. And as far as the NFC is concerned, Atlanta opened a 4-point favorite. I saw where you guys got to 4.5 for a little while, back down to 4. That total sitting right around 60.5. And as we speak on these two games, what kind of handle are you looking at thus far? And is there any notable sharp or square action on either one of these games at CGT?
So the handle's great. I mean, we got some dream matchups here. When you look at the college football championship game this year, we did $4 million a handle. We talked about on the videos, we thought we'd do $2 million a handle. We doubled that and did $4 million. By far the most wagered on football game this year. Last week, all of the games did approximately $2 million, some just over, some just under. So I think this week we should do better than $2 million on those. Will we reach the numbers that we saw in the college football championship game? I'm not quite sure, but the handle is rolling in on these two games, as you can make a strong case for any one of these 4 teams and either of these totals.
Are you getting any notable action from squares or sharps on these two games?
So I can tell you that this Green Bay game is going to really resemble a lot of the Super Bowls in the sense that we are taking a lot, and I mean a lot of public action on the Green Bay Packers money line, but on the other side, we're taking a lot of sharp action laying the 4 with the Atlanta Falcons, which puts us in one of those positions where we're going to need the Falcons to win the game, but not cover that 4-point spread.
Tony, I know you're on the total in the AFC, which is, again, are you on the total in the AFC or the NFC?
In the AFC.
AFC, yeah.
Yes.
And that total right now, as you're looking at it, sits around 50.5 at CGT Sportsbooks. So give us a couple of reasons why you're looking to back the over in this particular game.
Well, I was waiting for Matt to say that some of the sharp action was going to come under in this game,
Sure.
being, a championship game, and traditionally, as we spoke about before the videos, that defense wins championships. I don't think it applies to either one of these games. I like the over in both of these games, howbeit it's hard to pull the trigger on a 60. It's hard to pull the trigger on 60 in an Ivy League basketball game, let alone an NFL football game. But in this situation, Keith Butler, Pittsburgh's had some success against Brady, very little. I mean, we could talk about the numbers and the fact that Pittsburgh hasn't beaten or won in Gillette since, I think 2004, 2008, I don't recall the exact number. But this is a game where Pittsburgh is improved defensively to a degree from last year. Last year, week 1, Keith Butler's the DC's first game against, and it's against Brady, and Brady throws for 4 touchdown passes. Here's the deal. In a bottom line, I think that both of these defenses are overvalued. New England showed that they lead the league 15 plus points a game they've given up. However, since week 8, they've played offenses like San Francisco, the Jets. Baltimore was probably the best offensive play, at least the one that throw around the field, and they've given up almost 380 yards a game, so they've been fairly good in the red zone, and these are teams that weren't very good in the red zone. Sure. I think Pittsburgh throws the ball around the field. I think Brady throws the ball around the field, and I think, albeit the sharp action I think is going to go to the under in this 50.5. I like both teams to score 24 points plus. I have to go to the over.
I was looking at, the defensive statistics that Pittsburgh has accrued over the course of the season. You look at the teams they've played, and this is why I think it's a little bit overvalued as far as Pittsburgh's defense. 2 games against Cleveland, 31st in scoring. 2 games against Baltimore, 21st in scoring. 2 games against Cincy, of course, 24th in scoring. The Giants, 26th in scoring. The Jets, 30th in scoring. They did play Indianapolis, but it was Tozian and McAfee who were quarterbacking the Colts that game, not Andrew Luck. They allowed 27 to the Pats. That's right around the Patriots' offensive scoring average, and they gave up 35 points when they had to take on the Dallas Cowboys. So a couple of step-up games, all of a sudden they're giving up a few more points. And when Ryan Tannehill was healthy in the regular season, they gave up 30 to the Miami Dolphins. A little bit different when they were in the playoffs against Miami and had to face Matt Moore rather than Tannehill. So I'm not so sure that their okay defensive numbers are really trustworthy like you would normally factor in this kind of a matchup.
One of the things to watch for, we always have to watch for this time of year. Anytime we're playing in a cold weather city is the weather. Obviously, it gets really cold up there. And if you start adding wind in with the cold, then it could be problematic for kickers and throwing the football a little bit. I can tell you that the sharp money thus far in this game has come in on the New England Patriots and a little bit on the over thus far. Look, it's early in the week. Maybe maybe we'll see some over money. But we've gone from 50.5 to 51 since we sat down. So, and I know we had taken some sharp over bets earlier in the week already. But there's a lot of reasons to like the Patriots here. A little bit of dysfunction in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. That's never something you want going into an AFC Championship
odd situation.
game. Yeah, I mean, it really is, but that's not something you want to deal with on the Patriots week. And look, the Pittsburgh Steelers failed to score a touchdown last week. You cannot go to Gillette Stadium, not score a touchdown, and beat the New England Patriots. This isn't Alex Smith and the dink and dunk offense. The Patriots will score the football, and you're going to have to keep up with them. And I think, a lot of bettors right now think that probably New England's better suited to handle Pittsburgh.
Well, according to ESPN, the biggest playoff total ever goes this week, and that is the total between the Packers and the Falcons. You guys are around 61, but I've seen 60.5s out there, 61s. And I'm going to wrap up this video by saying that I'm going to play the under in this particular game, under 61. That game during the regular season, which saw 65 points, the total yards didn't even come close to equating a 65-point game. Both Atlanta and Green Bay were well below their season offensive yardage totals. Green Bay also averaged 5.5 yards per play. That's middle of the pack in the NFL in that game. And after defenses adjusted to the onslaught in the first half, once they adjusted at intermission, there were only 22 combined points scored in the final 2 quarters. Green Bay also runs the ball now, which they weren't doing then. Their leading rusher in that game was Aaron Rodgers, 6 carries, 60 yards. Their other traditional runners in that particular game had, I think it was 13 carries at less than 4 yards. It was about 3.5 yards per carry. Now they got Ty Montgomery, so they will look to run the football a little bit more, which of course keeps that clock running. So I'll play under 61 in the NFC matchup, in the NFC matchup between the Packers and the Falcons. Don't forget, weekend all-access packages at WagerTalk.com, Thursday through Sunday. Get those packages for only $59. More WagerTalk TV to come. He's Tony, he's Matt, I'm Scott. Stick around for more.